Good evening and thank you for joining us. Tonight we begin once again with the extreme weather facing this country. The Northeast is recovering from record-breaking rain, flooding and tornadoes triggered by remnants of Hurricane Ida. The storm is now responsible for more than 40 deaths. For the first time ever, the National Weather Service declared a flash flood emergency in New York City, which got more than 3 inches of rain in an hour. The city's subways were shut down as rain filled the tracks. Look at these pictures. Tornadoes tore homes to pieces in New Jersey. And as rising rivers inundated entire neighborhoods, hundreds of calls for rescues went out. Now, as the East Coast dries out, Louisiana is still struggling in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida. The storm has now impacted 22 states and left a trail of destruction. CBS's Mola Lenghi is going to lead up our coverage tonight from Somerville, New Jersey. Good evening, Mola.
Well, good evening, Nora. By the time Ida's remnants passed through here, it was no longer a hurricane, not even a tropical storm. But as you can see, the damage still significant. These waters have been receding for hours, and it still looks like this. Cars submerged, homes and businesses flooded from this deadly storm.
A night of disaster led to a day of historic floods. Tonight, entire neighborhoods across several states are underwater. Water rescues continued all day today from Bridgeport, Pennsylvania to Westchester, New York, where first responders used a bulldozer to reach the stranded. The New York Yankees minor league stadium in central New Jersey was submerged. Part of a railroad washed out in Cromwell, Connecticut. Brenda Vasquez and her New Jersey family were evacuated before dawn.
I'm so sad. I'm terrified. A house, my belongings, my kid is so terrified.
More than 40 people are dead, among them a veteran state trooper in Connecticut and a 2-year-old, and more are still missing.
We're still uncovering the true depth of the loss. The human loss, which is hard to imagine that people simply in their cars, in their homes, in their basements, succumb to the ravages of a brutal storm.
In Pennsylvania, roads along the Schuylkill River near Philadelphia are still under deep water. Inland, the remnants of Ida toppled trees and power lines and left behind major damage north and west of the city.
Look at that tornado!
In Mullica Hill, New Jersey, this twister shredded at least 9 homes. By the time the storm reached New York City around nightfall, many were caught off guard. Water gushed into apartments. The world's largest subway system came to a virtual standstill. Cascading water from the streets above filled the tracks and platforms below, leaving riders with almost nowhere to turn. Above ground, buses were filled with ankle-deep water. Inundated cars were simply abandoned. Hakeem Hampton was stuck in his car in New Jersey.
You had to climb out a window?
I climbed out the window.
In Cresskill, New Jersey, a sinkhole opened by rushing floodwaters swallowed a car.
Well, this is what the aftermath of the storm looks like in Piscataway, New Jersey. It's underwater. This side of me, an intersection. This side of me, a park. And the threat of flooding continues.
Liam Harrington's neighborhood was hard hit.
The middle of the road was, if I was standing there at high tide, it would have been over my shoulders.
That high?
Yeah.
Speaking at the White House, President Biden attributed this latest natural disaster to climate change.
These extreme storms and the climate crisis are here. This is one of the great challenges of our time.
Well, utility crews in Pennsylvania, in Connecticut, New York, and here in New Jersey are still working to restore power to homes and businesses. Looking ahead, the concern is that the larger rivers in this region will continue to flood into the weekend, Nora.
Mola Lenghi, thank you so much.